unmute myself. All right, so let me know if you can hear me. And I would love to see everyone's face, even if it's for a little while. How is everyone? I see we have a few more people connecting and joining us today. All right, I have a Michelle. Ooh, Michelle, I love how you spell your name. I love that. Machelle. I love that. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
It's been a Monday.
Who are you telling? Oh my goodness. And I'm exhausted right now, but I have a beautiful time going on in my house. So I have a
There we go.
15-month-old and a 9-year-old. So I'm getting them all wrapped up for dinner, and
oh wow,
we're doing this. Yes. So where are you all from? Put it in the chat box. Tell me where you're from and how long you have been gardening. You know, if it's like 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years. Let's see. I see another Michelle. Oh, with an I. Okay. Loving it. All right. Let's see. So I might be looking back and forth. I have 2 screens. I'm admitting people at the same time to the room. So I'm really excited. Planning our spring garden. So how many people have kind of started doing something already? You kind of have seeds or, oh, you have, Michelle? Yeah. Would you mind telling us, what do you have?
Yeah, I started some kale. I've got some container radishes going on my back porch that I just planted yesterday. It's my first time with radishes, but I heard 24 to 30 days, so I thought, I'm going to try.
Yes, yeah. That's awesome.
Kale, and then I've also just started this week some broccoli and cauliflower in like the little green, the little grow houses.
Yeah.
My the calendars that say what you can start indoors in my frost dates. So I call early spring fall part 2 because it's pretty much everything I did in the fall just again.
Okay.
So that's what I've done. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds really good. You'll have some good stuff coming up in about a month, maybe 2 months almost. That's good. And do you have any kids that are gardening with you?
Yeah, my 5.5-year-old, and then I have a 2.5-year-old, and I teach online. So my job is all from home now. I used to go in to teach college courses, but now it's all from home. And so we started a little homestead about 18 months ago. It was started out as just like, I want to garden and 6 chickens. And then the pandemic happened, and I was like, let's get some.
It changes everything.
Then we got goats, and then we got ducks and quail and rabbits and pigs, and it was supposed to just be 6 chickens in a garden, but when you start staying at home for a year, you're like, well, get something to do. Pigs are very low when it comes to COVID, so
it changes everything. Oh my goodness, a homestead. You're busy. And what about you, Kathy? What else do you have going on at your home?
I actually put in a raised garden bed last year. Somebody here locally was building them, and they're selling bigger ones. And then when you buy a bigger one, they donate like a 4x4 to different families in different neighborhoods so that they can garden as well. And they're mine's raised up probably 3 foot off, 2 foot off the ground, 3 foot off the ground. But I've also started putting a lot of things in pots. I'm really think I'm probably going to do a lot better with that.
That's good. I hear you with the pots. A lot of people, and I have a friend of mine, she got really excited and ambitious, and she has like thousands of pots. Nothing's in them yet, but she just has pot. She just went pot happy and got everything she could find to plant something. She's like, I'm ready. I'm like, dear, you have a lot of pots, but congrats to you.
Last year was my first year to really try to do more than just a couple of tomato plants. And actually turned out okay. You know, I'm just learning. I wish I had paid a whole lot more attention to my dad, you know, because he was a gardener.
Yeah.
And I don't have that. So, but that's okay. I'm learning.
Yeah. And things like this help us, because I just finished a workshop. I just finished a certificate program. And I'm like, okay, I want to share my knowledge with everybody else and see where everyone else is and spread the word. So, all right. Well, I think we have quite a few people here with us. So hello to everyone again. We're going to start on time and so we can end on time since we all have little ones that we need to get back to. All right. Let me make sure I got everybody in that wants to join right now. All right. So I am going to share my screen. Can everyone see planning your spring garden on their screen? Yes. All right, thumbs up, some yeses. Okay, great. All right, I'm going to move to myself. All right, so we're going to get started. So I am your presenter, Pernethyia Harmon. I started the company that you can see over here in the corner called the Backyard Garden Experience, LLC. It's hosted out of Pearl River, Louisiana. Yes, I'm a Southern girl. I'm Zone 8A. And I really am excited about what's to come and what I can share. Hi, Vicki. I'm so glad you joined us on camera. Yes, I love seeing faces. I teach ESL online as well. So I see faces every morning, bright and early, 3 a.m. sharp, smiling all day. So we're gonna jump right in. I started this company pretty much just to help any first-time gardeners, anybody with maintenance questions. You know, the plants are dying, they don't know what to do. Like, that is why I started this company. Our mission is to help you grow where you are planted. That's my big mission statement, and I'm super excited and ready to just help as many people as I can. All right, so let's dive in. So the first thing we're going to talk about is choosing your spot. So these are all the topics for today. You can kind of skim through them. We'll touch on water sources. So I called it Where's the Water? Container options, like we had someone say they use a lot of pots and they just built a raised bed. We're going to sketch it out, make our layout, choose our plants, have plant layouts, do breakout rooms, and then there'll be a question and answer session at the end. So we might go really fast in some areas and we might go really slow in some areas. So you guys, if it's too fast, just say, hey, and I'll slow down. So let's get rocking and rolling. All right, so just some quick planting wisdom. It says the love of gardening is a seed once sown that never dies. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and full screen myself and hopefully, yes, I can still see me. Good, and I can still see you. Awesome. All right. Okay, we got more people. I'm excited. Okay, so the love of gardening is a seed once sown that never dies. So we all have had, I know we have a friend on here, Miss Kathy. She said her dad was the one who planted that seed of gardening for her. And she just wished she would have paid a little more attention. So we all have that person in our lives that planted that seed. You know, somebody came along, watered it, but it never really dies. We might pick it up later on in our lives. We might continue it throughout our lives, but it never dies. So that quote is written by Gertrude Jekyll. All right, next, we are going to choose our spot. So let's begin. So it's really important when you're choosing your spot to be mindful of the sunny areas, the shady areas, wind, because where I live, we have hurricanes that come and those things affect where we place or where you could place your garden. So you want to be very mindful of that. Also, things such as the rain. I'm a part of like several gardening Facebook groups. And in all of these groups, one lady posted a picture of her garden. She had a raised bed. She put like 2 or 3 beds out, and then it was like marshland surrounding the beds. Where the beds were, everything was high, raised up, looked beautiful, but all around the bed, marsh. So I decided, I said, well, let me make sure I put this in here when you're choosing that spot to place your garden beds, that you are aware of where it's marshy, where you have that muddy land, where you have standing water, where it would be, you know, kind of mushy to walk through, and, you know, you really want a clean space. You don't want to go out there trying to grab some carrots to cook for dinner and now your feet are soaking wet. You want to keep that in mind. So grab your pen, grab a pencil, because that's one of the most important things, being careful of where you choose that sun, shade, watching out for standing water and wind. The second thing you want to think about and consider is, do you want your garden in the backyard? Do you have a patio? Do you have a balcony? Some of us have a combination. You are so blessed if you do. You have multiple areas to grow some beautiful things on. But if you have just one of those places, that is a choice that you have to make. Do I want to grow in my backyard? And if so, where? Do I want to grow on my patio? Do I want to grow something on my balcony? The next thing is a fenced-in area or no fence. So some of us have fences around our properties. If we stay in an apartment or a townhome or some type of complex location, it's not very much, you know, you don't have to worry about a fence. But if you're in a home, you have that fence or no fence option, you want to be able to say, okay, I want to put my garden here. It'll be protected from XYZ element. But what about the others, such as our pets? Do we have pets? Do we not have pets? Do we have kids? Some of us don't have kids, and we want our garden to be accessible and friendly towards them as well. Oh, I see something happening in the chat. I have a Louisiana friend, second year from Michelle Homestead, 18 months ago. Vicky from Arizona. Michelle has chickens, goats, LOL. All right, nice, nice. Okay. Oh, Winnebelle, North Carolina, Zone 8. All right. Awesome. Well, if you're just joining us, go ahead in the comment box. Let us know where you are from and how long you have started your garden or been gardening. If it's been a year or two, go ahead and put that. Don't be embarrassed. We're all at some level, and you never can learn too much. The learning never stops when it comes to gardening. It's trial and error all the way through. All right. So last but not least, when you're choosing your spot, access to the kitchen is important. Some of us might, matter of fact, I had a neighbor, our neighbors right now, they started a little raised bed on our fence line. So my fence is here, that's their tomato garden. Their house was maybe a 10-minute walk from where the garden was. There was no water source around. I have huge trees that kind of go over our fence, so it was not getting a lot of light in that spot. It was just a horrible, horrible spot for a tomato garden. If I wasn't like the new neighbor, I'd have went over there and said, hey, you know, your tomatoes might not do so well in this spot, but I digress. I did not. I just watched the little tomatoes and they looked so sad and they started to die and I got really sad. Michelle was like, but yeah, it was, you know, an experience for me, but I know how important it is to have that access to certain things that are needed for the garden. So you need that water, you need that sunlight, and you want it to be as close to your kitchen as possible because you're able to just freely go out there and reach for the items that you need. You can get your carrots, you can grab your parsley, all of those things you're able to freely grab from the garden. Let's see. Hello from Delaware, Margie. All right. I've never gardened before, says Marielle. Plants pick up their pots and run when they see me. I'm hoping to change that from New York. Nice. Vicky, first year gardening, raised garden bed. I love it. I love it. I love raised gardens. I do want to try some other things, but I do gauge myself after a raised garden. All right, so let's continue. So we have already decided. So now you probably have in mind where your spot might be in your garden. All right, so next we have the sun and the shade. Now, I always tell people when they're picking a space, with the exception of grow lights, a sunny spot is the best spot. You can always use shade covers. You can't move the sun. The sun does not move. You can put shade, you can provide that shade. So take a look at this picture that's here. If you notice on the right side of the picture, there's lots of trees covering that area. Can somebody tell me what plants do you think might grow best on that right-hand side of that garden? If we were to grow some type of food there, what would grow best in the shade? Let's test y'all's knowledge. And you can put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and yell it out like we're in preschool. I taught preschool for 13 years. Let's see. Oh, yes, Michelle says spinach, broccoli. That's right. So all of those things would do great in the shade. Perfect. So on the opposite of that same picture, you can grow some peas. You can get away with peas. They do need a little more sun, I think, than this, because I feel like this area would be covered in shade for majority of the day. And most plants need that 6 to 8 hours, and this would be covered for a long, long time. But on that left-hand side, we might be able to get away with some peas. Yep, lettuce, Margie, awesome. Yep. All right, so just remember, put that down in your notes that it is so important to make sure that we have that sun and that shade, making sure that those plants are getting what they need. All right, let's keep going. So on the other side of this, you're choosing between your balcony, your backyard, your patio. I read a comment on another Facebook group. The young lady said, I can't wait till I move into a home because I can start my garden. Oh my goodness, the page lit up. She had comments like almost 300 by the time it was over, because people were encouraging her and letting her know you do not have to wait until you move into a home and have this backyard to start a garden. You can see right here in this picture that this young lady is planting on her balcony. I lived on the 3rd floor of an apartment, and this is what it looked like. It had plants and stuff everywhere. Me and my daughter, we grew so many different things. So no matter what you have, something can grow there. All right. So on to the next one. That's me and my kid. We're having a great time with one of the videos. So I know a few of you told me already that you have kids and pets. So in the chat, or just like do the little hand raise button. I don't know if it's still an option. Everything's new on Zoom. They change stuff every day. But if you have kids, go ahead and put that in the chat. How many kids do you have? How many kids? I have 2. I have a 15-month-old. Well, actually, yes, the first. She's 16 months old. Oh my. 16-month-old and a 9-year-old. All right, Michelle, 2 kids, 5 and 2. Love it. 2 grown kids, nobody at home. All right, Dee. Anybody else? Yes, so kids can have an impact on our garden, where it's placed and what is growing in it. A lot of farmers I'll say gardeners, the peppers are a big thing. Some of us may want to tap into like our own seasonings, like cayenne, paprika. We have to be mindful of the peppers that we choose. My little one loves to just grab from the garden. She'll eat lettuce straight out of the dirt. Yes, I know I'm not one of those moms. It's my second kid. I got it down. So having peppers in the garden, I have to be very, just conscious of what's there for her to be able to grab on and eat, as well as a cat and a dog, which leads us to pets. Oh, you got some grown kids, Marielle, 3. No children at home, Margie. Okay. All right, keep them coming. If you have any kids, let us know. All right, so kids make us have to decide the space, and deciding where we want that space is the ideal to have the kids and the pets involved. I put in quotes, let them play in the dirt. Let our kids experience it, because they can carry that, just like that seed that I mentioned in the beginning. They carry that with them throughout. They may not ever touch a plant or touch a seedling in their youth, but maybe when they're a teenager or when they're adults, that seed might be watered and grow and bloom, and they want to start their own garden. So let them play, let them enjoy that space with you, and set it up so that they can. Like I said, my 16-month-old, she currently just eats right out of the garden. So, you want that. So here we have a short video, really, really short. This introduces a pet. His name is Tuck. And Tuck is a pet that is a part of a garden by James Prigioni. So he has his own garden channel on YouTube. I love watching his channel. He started something called a food forest. So his entire property is covered with plants, fruits, vegetables, vining things, everything. But this is just a short video just to give you an idea of what it might be like to include your pets in your garden. So take a look. Oh, isn't that? Ah. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Yeah, I know. His little fur. He's super, super cute. How many people cringed just a little bit when they saw him like rip that cucumber off the plant? Did y'all get worried? Yeah, yeah. I actually have the privilege. We all do actually, because he's on YouTube. But I have the privilege of watching Tuck for about a year now. And although that looked kind of scary, 3 German Shepherds, see, yeah. They literally pluck cucumbers off the vine and eat them. No more cucumbers on the fence for me. I hear you. Ooh, a Yorkie, how cute. I love it. I love it. Yes, so Tuck actually knows how to get crops and plants and the fruit and veggies that he wants off the plant. So he lets him do this like all the time, and every now and then he'll help him get something. But Tuck's not always that aggressive with his plant choices, but he's really, really adorable. And, that's kind of what it looks like to include pets in your garden. All right, so here we go. Let's keep it moving. So here I have this giant hose pipe. It's spraying all of this water. And the question is, where's the water? It's so important to identify your water source. A lot of first-time gardeners and even some that are, have been doing this for a while, they've set up different systems to help them with the water. But that first-time gardener, if it's your first time putting your bed together, you might not realize how important it is to have that water source nearby. My water source literally, and this was by the grace of God because I became really, really ambitious and I just started my garden and put it in the backyard of my house. It was by the hose pipe. Luckily, I didn't put it anywhere too crazy and out of the ordinary. So it's literally right by the hose, and I was able to set up my system and keep my garden watered regularly. So identify your water source. Do you have a water hose nearby? Do you plan to use a sprayer? Would you want to install some type of irrigation system because you might forget to water? Life has us pulled in all directions. Maybe a watering can is something, if you don't have a large space, it's just like a little 4x4 bed, you can get away with a watering can. But at the same thing, time equals growth. And we have to keep that in mind. So as long as we're continuing to put in and water, we can go ahead and get that growth that we're looking for as well. All right. So the goal of our water source should be to place it as close to our garden space as possible. All right. Yes, Margie, adding irrigation system sounds fantastic. I want to do that this year. I've looked into it. I'm trying to find like an experimental route, and then I'll work my way up to the more expensive things. All right. So here we go. It says, let's do it. So this is something, an activity you can do right where you're sitting. Don't worry, nothing big, nothing fancy. I want you to close your eyes. And since I can't see a lot of you, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. So close your eyes and dream up your space. Think about the things that you want in your space. So take a couple of seconds to do that. Do you see luscious greens, lettuce? You might have one eye open because your kids or your dogs or something are running around. It's fine. Flowers. Do you imagine your children being involved, being able to dig and pick and, you know, be a part of the garden experience? Do you want a space for your animals to enjoy, you know, the animals that you want in your garden, I must say. I have a mole currently trying to weasel his way into my raised bed, but I did really, really well setting it up so he's not able to get to my rooted vegetables. Yay me. All right, now it is time. If you had the liberty of sending me an email prior to this event, you were able to receive this as an attachment. This is the checklist that I use when I do my consultations with my clients. So we are, if you have this, we're going to use this little space here to start sketching our layout, okay? So here we go. So get your pencil, get your pen, and if you have some paper, plain paper, graph paper, whatever you want to use, go ahead and grab that, and we're going to start sketching our space. So this is where our first breakout session comes in. It's really, really brief. It'll be about 3 minutes long. I'm going to separate. We have 15 people with us right now. So everyone's going to be broken up into some group. And you'll see an actual pop-up for you to select when I put everyone in a breakout room. All right. Yeah. My goal is to add grow bags too. Yeah. Oh, you grow in grow bags. Okay, Margie. I like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into these breakout rooms. The goal of this breakout room right now for this session is to discuss with your group what you would put in your layout, where the sun shines in your yard. If you want the balcony, if you put it on the patio, you want to go through and put that on your layout. Okay, so talk to each other, guide each other through and say, okay, remember, you know, she mentioned the sun. Remember, she mentioned standing water, the pets, the kids, the fencing. Remember all of those things when you get ready to draw that in your layout. So this is just laying out where you might want your items in your garden to go. Okay, so let's attempt to do this breakout room. All right. And let's see, let's start adding some people to the rooms. All right, so you'll have a couple of rooms pop up. I think we'll do 3 rooms, and that'll give us 5 people to a room, and we'll be in there for about 3 minutes. All right, so let's start assigning. Okay, so you'll see a pop-up coming up with your group, and be ready to meet some new people. It's networking time. Breakout rooms are fun. All right, so here we go. The pop-up should be coming in 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and accept if you see it. If you don't, let me know. All right. I think it's happening. All right, did everybody get into a room? Let's see. Oh, Vicky didn't want to go into a room. All right, let's move Marielle. All right, and you have the option to join or not join. You don't have to go into a room if you don't want to. You can hang out here with me. And we can talk in the chat box. All right, so far, how is everything? How is your garden? What are you growing? Put that in the chat box. Hi, Teresa. Are you there? All right, Teresa, can you hear me? Okay. Teresa's trying to join. All right. Okay, so Teresa, if you can hear me, we are in our breakout rooms right now, and we are going through our layouts. So right here, we have our garden layouts on the sheet that I put out. In each layout, you are in the group talking it through. So you're deciding where the sun shines in your yard, where your fence line is, if you want your kids to be involved, if you want your pets to be involved. So let me know, Teresa, if you'd like to be a part of one of the rooms and I can add you to a room. If not, it's okay.
I'm sorry, I'm still at work, so I had to put you on mute. So I would like to be a part of a room, so I apologize. I didn't hear everything.
Okay. And is that Teresa talking? Let's see.
That's
Or Miss Vicky. I see you, Vicky. There you are. All right. So let's go ahead and add you to a room. I'll put you in room 1.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. All right. Michelle, would you like to be a part of a room? Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down, hand raise. All right. Okay, everybody. We'll have one more minute. Let's see. 2 minutes in the room. All right, let's see. Time 2. Let's see if they'll jump in. All right. Oh, you're trying to finish dinner. What are you cooking? Not to interrupt and make you type and stop cooking, but what are you having for dinner? I love the multitasking that we do to attend these workshops and still tend to our families. It's an amazing gift that we all have. All right. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh, I hope they had fun in there. I'm so excited. All right, so we're closing out the breakout rooms. We have 50 seconds left. Everybody's being counted down, and we will go ahead and swing through the last parts of this session. I am excited. All right, we're all coming back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. All right. We've dreamed it up. We're back at our breakout session. I see some friends are coming out. All right, there's Miss Kathy's back. All right, I see a few more people still hanging out in the rooms. Okay, so I hope it was good. Thumbs up. Did you get to meet some new people? All right, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get moving. All right, so here is a quick question. It says blank out of 10 local chefs grow their own ingredients. How many do you think grow their own ingredients? Ooh, Michelle, that sounds really good for dinner. All right, in the chat box, how many people do you think grow their own vegetables? Local chefs, local chefs. 20%, 5, 3, let's see, 5. All right. Anybody else want to chime in before I give away the answer? 25. All right, Michelle. Yes, I believe more chefs should grow their own ingredients. I'm actually trying to talk a friend of mine into putting a garden in her yard for her restaurant. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out. 9, Carrie, I like that. All right, so here is the answer. It's 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 local chefs grow their own ingredients. How nice is that? So that gives you, does it give you a peace of mind to think when you go to like Copeland's maybe, that they possibly have an herb garden out back? You're like, yeah, fresh herbs on top. I know. Gives me peace of mind. All right, let's keep going. So choosing plants. So these are easy veggies, in my opinion, to plant, especially if you're like a first-time gardener and you're looking for something really quick to grow, especially with the kids, you know, that immediate satisfaction, the 25 to 45-day range. You have these vegetables right here that are perfect for that. Carrots, peas and beans, lettuce, tomatoes, and radishes. Radishes are really, really quick. Kids would really love them, and your dogs would enjoy eating them. So that's something really quick, my top 5 that I would grow. All right, so now it's up to you to choose, what do you want in your garden? So we have different things. We can grow herbs in our garden. Herbs require little sunshine. They're more of a shady kind of plant. They require soil that drains well, some watering, a little fertilizer, a little compost. That's from tastefulgarden.com. There's vegetables and fruits on the other hand. You can grow your own fruits and vegetables. They help bring the diversity into the garden. They provide better nutrition, and you can get that homegrown flavor like, I just bought this. No, I just grew this, and it's really, really exciting. You know, you're doing it yourself. You feel good inside. All right, and that's by Jolene Hansen from Garden to Table versus the Supermarket. All right, and last but not least, some flowers. This is a big deal. Flowers can be used in companion planting. So when you have those vegetables and fruits and you add your herbs, those flowers, your marigolds and lavender and, you know, all these different plants, they give off their own aromas and scents, and that helps them deter pests. But it also attracts all of those beneficial insects that you want in your garden, and you want things to pollinate your flowers and help things grow. So something called interplanting. So you would take those marigolds, possibly plant them around the edge of your raised bed. It'll deter some things, but it'll also attract some things that'll help other things grow, like your squash or maybe a cucumber. So to keep those things going and deter those pests away. So that comes from Autumn Wood from the spruce.com. All right. So here I have 2 pictures. One of these actually comes from a friend of mine. These are some fun facts. It says 70% of gardeners grow vegetables. How many agree with that in the chat box? Yes, no, maybe? Who agrees with that? 70%? Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Let's see. We got some answers in here. Yeah. Cucumbers, tomatoes, eggplants. Awesome, Margie. Yes, I agree. So about 70%. Oh my goodness, it's going crazy. 70% of gardeners grow vegetables and 30% grow other types of foods. What do you think those other types of foods might be? What are some things that, you know, of course, it's everything that's not a vegetable. So what could be something else in that 30 percentile? And we've talked about it already. So loofah sponge. Yeah, I have some seeds for that. Yep, fruit trees. Yes. Herbs, good. I was hoping somebody would chime in with herbs. Yes. Sunflowers. Oh, I have some growing right now. I can't wait to put them in the garden. Yes, so all of these things, good answers, everyone. 30%, they grow other types of foods. And once again, I just wanted to hit home on the fact that you do not have to have a backyard to grow something. This, wherever this is, they're growing on their windowsill. And how much more pretty, and we'll touch on this in a second, something with containers, if she were to add a trellis and possibly extend that vertical space. In her right on her windowsill, she can grow like peas. So let's talk about that really quick. Choosing our containers. So here in this picture, we have, let's see, 5 different options. We have a hanging basket. We have in ground. We see a little cute dog, just to remind us to include our pets. We have trellises with our children. You can grow in a raised bed, or like one of our friends said tonight, lots of pots. So those are our container choices when we consider thinking about where we want to start and place our plants for our spring garden. So keep those choices in mind. All right, so if you do a container garden, it can be permanent, temporary, big, small. You can have one or you can have many. If you do a vertical garden, which is using those trellises, you can make the most of your small space. And also, I've learned in 2020, I experimented with some little sugar baby watermelon, some small cantaloupe, and I was able to grow them vertically. And then once they were a little too big, I was able to put them on a mound on the ground. So that'll be something that I keep up in my garden for this year. So that's a way to grow vertically, keep the bugs and the pests away. And then once they're big enough and they have that hard outer core for them, or outer shell, or husk, or whatever you want to call it, on the outside of that fruit, you can put them on the ground. They're safe. Greenhouse gardens up here. Now, greenhouse gardens rely heavily on you. So you control the temperature by raising the shade and closing the doors and sealing off different areas and holes. You provide that water source if you want to use irrigation or use a sprayer and a hose. It's covered, so you have slightly better pest control. I do know a lot of people that experience issues with rodents, because now they're like, oh, I'm free out of the elements and I can eat all the vegetables. Like, it's the perfect setup for a little tiny squirrel or something wanting to come into your greenhouse. And it also has weather prevention opportunities there. So if you're experiencing a lot of wind and you've built a solid, reliable greenhouse, then you can count on it protecting some of your plants from the elements. And last but not least, plotted gardens. This is kind of more of a territory of, you're living in an apartment, but you have a real green thumb and you're like, hi, can I use your property? So you can use those plotted gardens. You can rent a space. I've seen people rent property to use and plant and start a community gardens. You can use a neighbor's garden. You can use a backyard. So those are different types of areas where you could grow your garden. Here in the picture, really quick, it says, let's add the plants. So for the sake of time, we're not going to go into our second breakout session, but we are going to touch on where we place our plants. So here, I just threw something together really, really quick. This is a little mock setup of my plans for the future of my garden this year. Take that sheet, if you were able to grab your sheet, the garden layout area right here, or if you have your plain sheet of paper. Yeah, trellises between beds. Yes, extend those peas. Have lots of peas, strawberries, green beans. You can grow your squash. You can grow your pumpkins. You can grow a lot of things going along a trellis if you have a heavy duty, nice one. Yeah. So here we have all of the tomatoes, we have peas. So extending and adding, and we have different locations and different sections to house different things. And if you kind of pay attention to the diagram, you'll see all of the different, you can manipulate this and move it around. So on your sheet right now, just kind of take a quick second, draw out, some of the fruits and veggies that you already have, where you might place them, where you might want them to go. These are just some of my favorite things that I want to plant, and some things that I'm working on, especially my strawberry patch. I'm deciding whether I want to do a patch or baskets, or, I have a lot of strawberries. All right, so that's your job. That's your homework why we do this. So we're going to skip breakout session number 2. So that'll be your independent homework. All right, so we're nearing the end. It says, what are some takeaways from today's workshop? And remember, enjoying the fruits and vegetables of your labor. All right, so in the chat, just name one thing that you'll take away from today. I know some of us are already in gardening. We've been doing it for years. So what is something that you were like, oh yeah, now I remember, you know, she rung a bell or a light bulb went off or something new that you've learned today? Go ahead and just put it in one word in the chat real quick. Ready, set, let it go. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, it is the perfect setup, Michelle, having trellises between the raised beds. Yes. No, it does not sound silly at all. Yes, sun versus shady. Yes, and choosing the right plants. I agree. That is super important. You want them to grow. We don't want to waste our money, our time. You know, it's very, very precious. We want those things to happen. Thank you, Michelle, for that. All right, anybody else? Yes, containers. Yes, yes. County Extension. Yeah, I have my, I was able to go to a school in our area, LSU, Louisiana State University, and they have like this veggie garden pack. It's about 8 sheets long, and it tells you a little, you know, it dives a little deep into what you can plant in your area. Yes, Kathy, plans. Good job. Good job. I'm so glad that you all were able to take something away from tonight. All right, so here's some extras really quick, some side notes. So make sure to choose your plots carefully. It serves a variety of purposes, making them powerful tools. That plot can be very, very powerful. Monitor your water. Once again, it's also a powerful tool in the garden because if you're over watering, you could kill your plants. If you under water, you could kill your plants. So being mindful. Once again, last thing, be friendly. Adding those flowers. Those make your garden blossom and grow. You need those pollinators. You want them in your garden. You want them involved. So those also are important things to have in your garden. All right. And last but not least, let's go ahead and start growing our garden for the kitchen. So remember, we have a lot of things. Look at this picture of this beautiful lady. She looks so, so happy growing her garden right here. And I can't wait to have one of these beautiful garden tables so I can start planting my beautiful crops in my yard. All right. So lastly, here are a couple of resources for you all. This book at the top is Kitchen Garden Revival. I actually have it nearby. This lady, her name is Nicole Burke, and she's been going at this for about 4 or 5 years, and you'll see her surfacing all around Facebook with the Garden Coach Society. But this is her book, and it goes through small scale, low maintenance edible gardens, and she has some amazing, amazing designs in her book. Just different things, different elements, different options for you to try. Number 2 by Tammy Willie is Raised Bed Gardening for Beginners. So that's another book that you might be interested in. And then Veg in One Bed. So you can grow abundance of fruit. I know somebody said they only had like one raised bed. You can grow an abundance of food, one raised bed, and learn how to do it month by month. That might be something, you know, if you're a beginner, this is your first time, you're looking for, you know, something to guide you along by Hugh Richards. So go ahead and write that down. All right. And here, the Backyard Garden Experience, this is my company. We are also considered a resource. We also offer consultations, maintenance assistance, and garden installation. So we're here to help you grow where you are planted. So if you have any questions, you think that you are ready to start your garden, and you think you might need just a little more help with your current garden, just go ahead and send me an email. I'm gonna put my email in the chat box really quick. So you all can go ahead. If you need that extra help, I am here for you. All right. So far, so good. I'm so excited that you all were able to join us tonight. I can't wait until we're able to do another one because you guys have been amazing. So here are a couple of ways you can reach us and see what's going on. We have thebinge.com. That's my website. We have Facebook groups. Our community is growing as we speak. We started with like 2 people and now we're at almost 50 and it's continuing to grow day by day. There's a survey link right here. I'm going to put this survey link in the chat box before we go. So let me go ahead and see if I can get out of this really quick. And I will put that survey link because I want to know what you learned, what you enjoyed, what you didn't like, what you want us to change, because we can get that done for you. Oh, it's snowing. Oh, I wish. I wish. It's so hot. It goes back and forth here where I am. It's cold, it's 40 degrees, drops to 30, and then it'll shoot up to 70. So, you know, you get different weather all the time. All right, so I'm going to see if I can add this link. Let's see if I can get out of this. So you all are able to fill out this survey. All right, I'm putting this in the chat box right now. Oh, you're welcome, Margie. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you were able to make it. All right, 2, 1, 0, 1. Because it's not letting me out without saying goodbye to you all. So there it is. Oh, a foot of snow in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Wow. Wow, that's a lot going on in your neighborhood. All righty, guys. Well, that concludes our session for tonight, our workshop. We are done. We went over by like 7 minutes, so I don't think that's too bad. And we can all get back to our kids. I really, really enjoyed it. And I hope that we can do this again. And I think, let me see if I can spread this out so I can see how many faces. Oh, good. All righty, guys. So thank you for joining me. If you have questions, you see all the links on the screen. Go ahead and take a screenshot. You can reach out to me by email if you have any questions. And I hope you learned something today. And I can't wait to hear your feedback. All right. So y'all have a good night. Enjoy dinner. Kiss the kids, kiss the dogs, kiss the cats. And I will see you all next time. Bye.